Hello students, very good evening to all of you, and I hope you all are ready to learn another new topic and very interesting topic related to British literature as well as related to the historical background of British literature. Yes, so let's see how it goes and how much knowledge you have related to that particular topic. Okay, so yes, hello Revati, hello Rishabh. So basically students, in this session we are going to look at the questions which are related to the topics or which are related to the background, basically background, the poets, writers, dramatists and everything related to this particular age, which is the Restoration age. Okay, so Restoration age was another very famous age of British literature. Why it was famous? Because you will find that lot of changes happened in this particular age, as well as you will also find lots and lots of interesting things that happened in this age related to the drama field. Okay, so we are going to look at some of such dramatic things. Okay, what actually happened, how it happened, and all the related context of it. Okay, so hello Deepak, hello, good evening Mansi, hi Sonam, very good evening to you. Hello Chinmay, what happened? What did you write? Good evening. Yes, good evening Chinmay. Okay, and yes, quickly share, this is another informative thing I want to share with you, that quickly share this video with all of your friends so that they won't miss their studies, and just let them also know that we are studying Restoration age. So if they have missed out with some of the lectures, but they will not miss this particular lecture. Okay, so quickly share this video with all of your friends who are preparing for UGC NET English. Yes, and this is another reminder for you all. Student, just give me a second. Students, please bear with me. There is some technical issue from my end actually. I am not able to move my slides. So please just give me a minute. I'm just fixing it. Please bear with me. Please stay tuned, and I'll fix the problem as soon as possible, okay? The slides aren't moving. That's the problem. Okay students, I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused to you all. You have to wait such a long time, but please bear with me with these technical issues. Even we cannot do anything. Yes, so now let's continue. So as I was talking about, so this is another reminder for everyone that if you haven't purchased this course, if you haven't enrolled in this course, do it right away so that you won't miss your preparations, you won't miss out with anything that we are going to study in this course, okay? So now in today's session we will be talking about Restoration Age. What all things we are going to discuss: history of Restoration Age, background of Restoration Age, theme of Restoration Age, as well as style of Restoration Age, okay? So these are the things that we are going to study in today's session. So basically this age was 1660 English monarch restored, okay? It was 1660 English monarch monarchy was restored. Why it is said like this, students? Have you ever imagined? So why it is said like this? Because if you will see in the Caroline age or in the Puritan age, you will find that this is the age where actually a lot of things happened, where actually people started, so there was this Greek, there was this what you will call it, there were other influences, French influence, Italian influence, German influence that you will see. Yes, so because of which people started to believe in it, and then but this English monarch was somewhere out of the picture, okay, because of the Puritan age. So that is why, but when again after this thing, then Charles II became the king in the Restoration age, and he basically restored, okay, this Puritan and restored the English age again, because he was English and he was British basically. So he started learning, he actually started looking into the matters, and he came with a very good view, okay, that now I'm going to do something, or I am going to work for the English people, okay, and so that is why a Puritan age was ended. Okay, so this was something good happened in this particular age. Then in that age, in the Puritan age, theaters were closed. They were not allowed, so people were not allowed to perform their plays in the theaters, because obviously with the theaters they were encouraging, they were showcasing the English literature, which the Puritans did not wanted. Okay, so that was the reason they stopped the theaters. That is why lots and lots of actors, artists suffered. But in this in the Restoration age, these theaters were also restored. Okay, so that was another important things. And after Civil War, only two types of poets ruled. Okay, and in the Puritan age, when there was wars going on, you might have seen that there were multiple wars that have been fought. So people or the kings, those who ruled or those who won the war, they were ruling the kingdom. Yes, so that is why due to these wars, they did not want others to, or the English people to come up with their culture, to showcase their culture. Okay, so that is why and also after the Civil War, only two types of poets were ruling. Which were these two poets? First one was the metaphysical poets, and the second one was the cavalry poetry. Okay, cavalry poets. First one was metaphysical poet. Now you already know who are the metaphysical poets: John Donne, John Milton. Second one was the cavalry poet. Okay. Example, John Milton. Okay, so basically they dominated this age, they were ruling this age, they were ruling the literature. So everyone was reading whatever they were writing. Okay, and other poets, those who were writing in some other genres, they were not into focus, they were not given importance. Only people used to read, or only the writers, those who were writing in metaphysical poetry or those who were writing cavalry poetry, they were very much famous in that age. Okay, but when the Charles II observed, who was Charles II? Basically, he came from the French literature. So he was in France for some years, and then he came back to England. Okay, so when he came back to England, he saw a lot of French literature. He was very much influenced by the French literature, and that is why the very first thing that he did was to open the theaters. Okay, so he worked for reopening the theaters. As you already know that the theaters were started in the Elizabethan age, but they were not into focus. They were closed in the middle some ages, in the middle some years. So that is why they were given lot of importance. They were given lot of recognition. Again, started in the rule of Charles II. Okay. Then he introduced French literature to the people, and English Reterem, that was called as the age of Milton, was started here. And so Charles II was also the art lover. That is why he focused more on the art forms, more on the literature, more on the theaters, more on the entertainment purposes. Okay, there was this concept called as he basically introduced French literature by Charles II. Okay, and reopening of theaters were there. Okay, then you will also find that it was there is this term, very famous term, which is called as interregnum. Okay, so what is this English interregnum? It is basically the age of John Milton. Where a lot of Milton's poems, writings were being flourished, were being introduced, were being famous. Okay. Then there is one more concept called as later patent, was also very much patent, okay, which was also very famous. So what is this latter patent? It is basically the type, okay, it is a type through which there were different theaters being published, and so it is basically the permission, okay, that was given by the authorities, higher authorities, or for example the one who was ruling, who gave this authority or who gave the permission to start the theater. Okay, so that was called as the later patent. Then another important thing you should know about the theaters, that there were two famous types of theaters, okay, or theater companies. One was the King's Company, another was the Duke's Company. Okay, so yes, we'll write this down. Which one was the first? It was King's Company. And the second one was the Duke's Company. Okay, then there is another important thing that you should know about is the Gallic model. Now what is this Gallic model? It is a French literature basically. okay, or French model or French literature you can call it. Clear? So these were the important things that happened in this particular age. Okay. So okay, so Disha is asking what is cavalry actually. Oh sorry, wait. So this is cavalry. Okay, it is cavalry. So this cavalry basically, cavalry means the writings of the great soldiers, okay, or the people, those who were fighting for the for their nation, for their country. So the writings or the poets, those who were writing on these war situations, or the writings that were being done for these great soldiers, okay, or heroic maybe writings you can call it. That is called as the cavalry poets, okay. Those who were writing on these kind of topics, war, victory, then these soldiers, okay, all these topics. So basically this is the basic background of the historical background of Restoration age. Now we are going to talk about the famous poets of this age. The very first name that comes into our mind when we talk about this is the John Dryden. Okay, now we should also talk about John Dryden. So John Dryden basically was called as the copycatter. Can you imagine such a great writer and he was called as the copycatter? Why he was called as the copycatter? Because he tried to copy most of his writings or most of his ideas basically which were taken from the earlier age poets such as let's say Shakespeare, or maybe any other poet, for example Plato, Aristotle, or he was copying the writings or maybe the ideas from them. Okay, so this was something that he was famous for, which he shouldn't be, right? Then there is very famous work written by John Dryden is The Hind and the Panther. This is a very famous work written by John Dryden. Then the Satire of Dryden, okay, is also written, which is a battle of books. So there is a satire of John Dryden written, okay, by somebody. Now you have to find out who has written it. Which is called as the Battle of Books, in which the satire of John Dryden is written. Okay, so yes, and also don't forget to mention that they called as copycatter. Okay, remember this. So this is something, there is a lot more about John Dryden, but we are going to stop here for now, because if we will talk only of John Dryden, then the lecture will not be enough. Okay, and we also have to talk about some other writers as well. That is why John Dryden, you can find take a lot of information related to John Dryden because he is very famous. A lot of his writings is famous. Okay, now we are going to talk about Aphra Behn. So John Dryden, you might even know of him, some background of John Dryden, but you might not know of Aphra Behn. So Aphra Behn is another very famous writer. So she is the first women writer. Okay, or you can also call that she is the first novelist, okay, of this particular genre of or age. First women writer. Okay, and she was very much famous for her frank poetry, or she was very much famous for her direct writings. Okay, so she did not even think of how the society will react or how how the people will react on her writings, but she was very frank, she was very bold with her writings. Okay. She tried to showcase lots and lots of reality through her writings. Okay, and she was very much open about the sexuality, about the sex, about the seduction and everything related to it. Okay, so when you will read the works of Aphra Behn, you will find lot of such things in her work. Okay, so don't get embarrassed, or don't get because that was her way of writing. Okay, you cannot judge anyone that why she was writing like this. Don't feel ashamed of it, because she was the writer and she was not ashamed by herself. Then why should we while reading it, right? So that was very much so she was very much famous for it, basically. Okay, and then she was also in Second Anglo-Dutch War, she was spy for Charles II. She was spy for Charles II. Okay, so this is another important thing. Now, I already told you that she was the first novelist. Okay. Then she wrote love letters. Okay, so love letters between a nobleman and his sisters. Okay, then she was also famous for her very famous work, that is Orinoco. And she has also become inspiration for lots and lots of women out there, because she gave them the courage of writing something. Okay, because earlier no such female came forward to into literature, but she was the one, and she started writing it. That is why she became an inspiration for lots of women of that age. Okay, so this is the basic background, or this is the basic things that you should remember about Aphra Behn. Okay, so we will end the session here for now, and we will talk about lots and lots of dramatists who were very famous in Restoration Age, as well as another and lots and of other important things related to the Restoration Age in our next session. Okay, so stay connected with IFAS, plus share and subscribe to the channel, like to this video, and also tell all of your friends to join in so that they won't miss their preparations. Okay, so we will meet in tomorrow's session. We will stop here for now. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Until the time we meet next, happy learning.